Rise and shine, it's a brand new day. Ken and Ken take the stage, ready to play. Weekdays at 10, the cars and the scene. Coffee in hand, they're living the dream. Question in the voice, got the whole town awake. Bringing fire to the mic, make no mistake. Shows in the corner, spitting out facts. Dropping truth bombs, ain't holding back. Ken and Ken in the morning, feel the heat. From 10 a.m. CST, can take a seat. We live that loud, that break in the mind. Light up your speakers, crank up the sound. They're talking about life upside down. Opinions exploded like a sonic blast. In the studio, they're built to last. With passion and grit, they engage and ignite. Every single week, their foes can't fight. From sports to politics,
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Ken and Ken in the Morning. Good morning, Ken.
Why, good morning there, Ken.
Are you enjoying the results of last night's Thursday night football?
Oh, you mean have I stopped laughing my ass off yet? No, I have not.
and how about you, Joe? How are you enjoying the victory of a California team over a Midwest team yesterday? Good morning, Fred.
Oh, I hate the Chargers, so I don't really care.
He's like, could they both lose?
Yeah.
I thought Luka canceled his trip to LA. Isn't that what he said? He canceled the
I
trip
think so.
to LA? Well, wow. Yeah, they got some issues there in Minnesota, don't they?
Yeah, I'd say so.
So, according to Rob Haspels, the season is over again. No surprise there.
So what you're saying is he should have stuck with his first assessment.
Yes. Their defense looked horrible. Now look, was it the defense looking horrible, or did Joe Alt coming back yesterday make that big of an impact on the Chargers offensive line?
I think you hit the nail right on the head with that second statement.
Because I mean,
now, granted, the Vikings defense did look bad too. I think it was another one of those combo things, but it in reverse of what we saw with the Lions and Bucks, it was the Chargers played great and the Vikings played like crap.
So is this the wheels coming off the truck in Minnesota?
For this year, maybe, but for like future outlook, I don't think so. But for this year, I think they might be cooked.
What do you think, Joe? Joe's thinking I'm at a red light and I froze. Yeah.
They get JJ back. And, I mean, now granted, I'm not saying that I think they're going to just turn things around and make a playoff run. I'm just saying, like, I don't know that their season is over today. You know, like, if they can hover around 500 and, you know, because what's a playoff record right now? 9-8, 10-7, like, right? They're 3-4. There's still time.
I mean, there's still time, but you know, here's the thing: JJ's going to come back, and I mean, what's the over/under and how many games he makes before he's hurt again?
1.5.
Yeah. Well, see, that's why I said I'm not like making predictions for their season. I'm just saying I don't think their season is over today.
Look,
right?
When Dorn is saying that the Lions are going to put up a 40-plus burger on anyone, that's significant.
Let
me see. Should the Vikings be sellers soon? No.
Yeah, I was going to say I wouldn't be with a young quarterback. Granted, he's made of glass, but you hope that glass hardens up.
I guess they could try to temper the glass. It would be JJ Tempura at that point. Yeah. No, they shouldn't be sellers because overall they got a good team. And it's just injuries and the quarter injuries. Let's just face it, injuries. That includes your other problem, quarterback. It's all injury based. Injuries are their problem. So unless they can trade for health pellets, I don't think they sell. Yeah, they were missing their left tackle, but they had the right tackle. Or is it the other way around, though?
He was originally the right tackle, but since the left tackle got injured, he's now the left tackle.
Yeah, so they're still missing a tackle, but yeah. Yeah, Broski, I think it's on one hand, give Minnesota a little bit of credit, right? Because they're not running them out there at 80%. Right, but on the other hand, yeah, what's the deal in McCarthy? Because he's been practicing limited practice the last couple of days at least. I think they're waiting for this mini bye. Yeah, bring Kirk back. They should.
I'd laugh my nuts off if they ended up having to bring Kirk Cousins back.
But Ken, this begs the question now: if they had never let Kirk leave. What would have been different about last year's team and this year's team?
Well, Kirk can actually stay relatively healthy-ish compared to JJ, to where you'd at least have your starting quarterback in, and you think a veteran quarterback can make up for a shitty O-line at least a little bit.
Well, hold on a second. Let me back up that train there before I agree with it. I mean, his last half of a season –
that's why I said compared to JJ.
Well, I mean, but recently he's been hurt just as much. He didn't miss a whole season, and he did get hurt last year at the end. But then again, would that have happened with the Vikings? Maybe not. So, I kind of agree. I mean, I think they would have been much better. Who's going to be the blame? Yeah.
I would blame Kwesi over it because it sounds like it's more to do with the players that they have or don't have on the roster versus the coaching talent.
I don't know if you can blame either. Good morning, Paul. I don't know if you can really blame either because it's not a coaching issue. He's coaching up the players he's got, and they're playing relatively well. They played good against the Eagles. They kind of they played like crap yesterday against the Chargers. We know it should have been a good team all this season anyways. But I think it has to do more. I mean, you can't blame the GM because guys get hurt.
Yes and no. Usually not, but unless the guy has a major injury history, then I'd blame the GM for that.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I agree. Once again, I agree with that. You could at that level, sure. I blame the training staff.
Hey, why? Thank you, there, Steve. That's the old school Green Bay symbol on the bottom of it too.
Someone wanted people to be sick this weekend.
Yeah, we're not putting up bear shit. They're not going to puke. It's okay.
I mean, I don't know if you can really if you blame Kwesi or KOC, but John brings up a good point. Like KOC, I don't think he's on the hot seat, but 0 playoff wins eventually starts to get that seat to warm up. And look at the same things that be said true for LaFleur. He has one playoff victory of note, and now it's against a team everyone said you should beat anyways.
Well, that's of the Jordan Love era. He's got a few victories with Rodgers.
Well, but this is year 3 of the Jordan Love era. And the
last
years, when was the last playoff win for Green Bay? 5-6 years ago? Besides the
Love one? No, before it was a lot sooner than that because we were in the NFC Championship a couple of years ago. Well, probably about
when Brady won the Super Bowl. So that's back 7 years.
I'd have to look to remember because a lot of those playoffs appearances ended in such disappointment that you don't even give a shit about the other wins. But he's got a few playoff victories.
Steve, I mean, it's not. Well, look at they're not going to figure it out because there's nothing to figure out. It's injuries. I mean, injuries are what's sinking the stinking ship. There we go, of the Minnesota Vikings. Their defense has a lot of Van Ginkel's out, for example. They have a lot of really good players injured. It sabotages their quarterback play. So I mean, excuse me. It's not that there needs to be a blame game in Minnesota. It's they just aren't healthy. I don't know if you can play the blame game with the coaching or the GM. They're just not good right now because, I mean, you could blame Kwesi and the coaching staff for not having better backups. Okay. Here we go. John had it. Yeah, but who cares if you've been to the playoffs 5 out of 6 years? It's what you do in the playoffs. I mean, if that were like I said, no one cares you made the playoffs. If you make it every year and lose, I mean, why do you think there's a certain head coach in Pittsburgh on a hot seat? They haven't won a playoff game in a decade. So getting to the playoffs is what saves your job initially. Early in your career, that saves your job. But then not going to the playoffs and not winning actually can cost you your job.
Oh, if it starts to stack up, absolutely.
Yeah, that's the irony, right? Like John's gonna sit there and he beats the chest. Look, we were the best of the worst for so long. We got all these playoff appearances. But dude, if you don't win playoff games, that's gonna get your head coach fired just as easily as not making it. It's just an extra step. You know what I mean? I mean, why do you think people want Tomlin gone? Because he can't win a playoff game. It's been a decade since Tomlin won a playoff game. That's why the Steeler fans want him gone. Yeah, I mean, Matt
LaFleur's record in the playoffs is 3-5.
So not spectacular either.
Yeah,
he beat Dallas with Love, and then he won. Then they had the NFC
19 and 20.
And then the NFC Championship run year where they lost to Brady. So that would have been in 19 or 20 or something.
Yeah, I think that either way, 19 and 20, he had playoff wins for both years. But,
okay, so yeah, it would have been 19 or 20, whatever year that was, and then I think it was 20. No,
20. He lost to the Bucks.
Yeah, so it'd be 20. So he had in 19 his second year his first year as a head coach, and then in 20, the NFC Championship run, and since then he beat Dallas. All right, here's Broski's take on it.
Yeah, hey, I was a major proponent of them keeping Daniel Jones because I thought that they could pull magic with him.
And like as far as like the offensive line signing, their offensive line was pretty horrid last year. Let's not forget. So maybe they were thinking, well, at least this guy is maybe a little bit better. But Broski's not wrong. But I think in their head they're like, well, maybe it changes the scenery. This guy does protect a little bit better than what we have. But so maybe you can't. I mean, so that's a good argument for Broski's making to put the blame on Kwesi.
I was just thinking, if I was the Raiders, I would go. I know Aiden O'Connell, just like he's on the IR. He's about to come off. I would be like, hey, dude, on the under, we're gonna send you to Minnesota for a year or two. And then once your contract is up there, just come right on back. You can be our starter, dude. Whatever they got in the water over there, I want him to get some of it, dude. Because think about it. Look, Darnold, we were last year. We were like, oh, is this an anomaly, right? But no, Darnold's playing well in Seattle. Daniel Jones, right? He didn't even play in Minnesota last year, but all of a sudden he's with the Colts. He's the number one team in the AFC. Yeah. Actually, they're the number one seed in the NFL. Yeah. It seems like You know, this year the curse has been with whoever's actually playing for Minnesota. Like,
And you know what? Thank you, Dorn. You literally just proved my point. Thank you. Because Nagy went to the playoffs twice in his 3 years and got fired. So thank you.
Yeah, because that
Thank
last
you.
year he didn't make it.
and another
Yeah.
thing, you spoiled ass Steelers fans complaining about Mike Tomlin. Like, dude,
Joe's like, I'd give my left nut for a playoff appearance, man.
no. Not for a playoff appearance, but if I had a coach that won me a Super Bowl, he could stay for the rest of my fucking life, dude. I don't care. Like, I don't care if we have losing seasons from then on out. If he got us a ring, bro, make yourself comfortable. Like, can we get this guy a sandwich and a beer? You know what I mean? Like,
But I mean, that's the point, though. Is like they get to that point, Joe, where they go to the playoffs every year and they're not winning playoff games. It's almost just as bad as not making the playoffs because look at you get the Green Bay syndrome, and I guess we can call it the Steelers syndrome too. You're always going to be a decently good team, good enough to make the playoffs, but not good enough to do anything in the playoffs. Well, that's the Green Bay Packers in a nutshell. For the last 30-some years, they got lightning in a bottle for 2 of those seasons, and the rest of it, it's like great, yeah, you go to the playoffs a lot, but you don't do anything. So from the fans, I can understand why the fans, on some level, go like, dude, we got to make a change because, yeah, you're getting us to the playoffs. At first it's like, yay, cool, we're finally getting to the playoffs. Some Bears fans will be like that.
Yeah.
Bears make the playoffs. Oh my God, Big Ben will be coach of the year. Foles GM of the century, whatever. But now if the Bears go to the playoffs 4 or 5 years in a row and don't win a game, watch. All of a sudden it's going to go, Ben's okay, but he can't win the big game. He can't win a playoff game. We need to make a change. This is what happens in this league or in any professional sporting league. If you make the playoffs consistently and you don't do anything, you don't progress past the first round, you don't progress into the second round or the third round or get to the championship every so often. Like LaFleur, if you think about it, his best playoff runs were taking Mike McCarthy built teams to the playoffs. His only two, think about it.
Ken didn't like that.
Yeah,
Ken doesn't like that.
The NFC Championship game was a Mike McCarthy built team, not a LaFleur built team. LaFleur built teams have won one playoff game against Dallas. McCarthy. Go figure that. So I mean, after a while, fans go, you know what? I mean, and look at Ken's face as well because he's going, holy shit, he's right.
No, I'm going. You're way off base here.
No, no, because it's the same argument you make on other teams. So hold on, let me finish the thought. I'll throw it at you, Ken. If LaFleur goes 4 more years, let's say even 2 more years to the playoffs and doesn't win a game, these are the arguments you're starting hearing out of the media up there in Green Bay. They'll start going, LaFleur's been a good coach. Yeah, he gets us into playoffs consistently, but his best playoff run was with a team he didn't build that he inherited from McCarthy. That the majority of that team was inherited from McCarthy, and our GM, same thing. He inherited most of that team from McCarthy. Maybe those two, he did the right thing by firing McCarthy, but maybe it's time for a change because we need a tandem that can actually get us further into the playoffs and actually win a Super Bowl. That becomes the argument in the narrative, and Ken, you know that's actually true.
Maybe that can become the narrative, but those were definitely not Mike McCarthy teams. There was a huge amount of turnover in Green Bay when we went from McCarthy to LaFleur. We had gotten rid of a lot of players and brought in a lot of new guys in. Now, granted, were there some holdovers from the McCarthy era? Sure, absolutely.
You're going to have all your star players on offense.
You mean our 2 star players? Okay, 3, since we'll include Aaron Jones.
You guys had some turnover in defense. You had a lot of guys retire and whatnot. You had a young defense.
We had a complete turnover in the receiving core by anybody not named Devontae Adams.
But that's normal. The offense was still McCarthy offense mostly. because Aaron wanted to run it, and you did, and
it was
and
a weird.
LaFleur
It
did
was
what
a
Aaron
weird.
wanted to
I'll
do.
give you, it was a weird blend between the McCarthy and
Yeah.
the offense.
I just got to say, like, I get what you're trying to say, Ken. Like, and I agree with you that that's the way fans are, right?
Yeah.
Like, but I don't think that that's the way it should be. Like, I think if you take a team like the Raiders, for example, who have 2 playoff appearances in the last 23 years, we wouldn't look at a coach who's getting us to the playoffs every year as like, oh man, we're not winning any playoff games. Like, if we could make the playoffs 2 years in a row, we're like, man, keep this dude. He's doing something right, Like, so I think that there are teams that are certainly spoiled in that they make the playoffs every year. They have a winning culture, right? And then they have the luxury of bitching about not winning Super Bowls. But the thing is, only one team wins the Super Bowl every year. It's hard to do. It's not something that, like, yeah, there's inevitably somebody is going to do it, but notice how hard it is for teams to repeat. It's so hard for teams to repeat. Why is that? Because everything has to go right, dude. Like, so the best that you can hope for, and this is just my opinion, I'm not saying that this is the way it is, but this is how I feel as a fan of a team that doesn't make the playoffs very often. The best you can hope for is a coach that consistently gets you to the dance, and then you just got to hope that one of those years everything goes right. But if you're not in the dance, then you don't have to worry about it anyway. So I'd rather take a coach like Mike Tomlin, who's going to have me in the dance every year, even if I'm getting bounced every year. One of those years, maybe everything goes right. But if I'm not there, I'm not going to find out.
I don't disagree with you, but I mean, after a while, though, it gets on fans. They're like, okay, well, we're going to the first round and out. And again, yeah, only one team can win. But you're telling me, we've been winning the playoffs for 8 years and we can't even get a win in the playoffs. We're 0-8 in the playoffs. Like, that's when that starts to stack. And that's when if you go, let's say you go as the wild card round every year. Let's say you end up, because you never get that number 1 seed. And let's say out of 8 years, you can win maybe at least 3 wild card and get to divisional game. Okay, fine. No one's saying you have to go to the NFC Championship in at least once in those 8 years, but at least go to the divisional round 2 or 3 times, right? Because if you can't, the rub becomes.
Yeah, I was going to say that I can agree with Ken. If you're going completely winless, that's terrible. But if you're getting wins here and there out of it, shit happens sometimes. And Steve with Achane, I'd love to have him, but I'm giving that like a 20% chance or less.
I'd give it like a 5% chance. I don't think they're going to trade Achane.
If you look at the coaches around the league right now who have any sort of tenure, right, who have been there for more than a couple years, I don't know this for a fact. This is why I'm bringing it up, because maybe you can pull it up, Ken. But I would be willing to bet that most of those coaches have losing playoff records. Like,
I'm sure they do, but that's not the core issue, though. The core issue is like, look, if you could go, unless you win the Super Bowl, you're going to have, every year you're going to have a losing record, right? But let's say you go in 5 years to go into the playoff, or 7 years to go into the playoffs. I think it's not too much.
If you go completely winless in the playoffs, that can be an issue.
Yeah, like if you're 0-7,
yeah,
or 1-7, that's a problem. If you're 3-7, not so much. That means you've at least made it to the divisional round a couple times. You're going to have a losing record just by nature of it, unless you win the Super Bowl. Okay, not really. You can, if you make it to the NFC Championship, you're going to have a winning record. If you get to the divisional round, you're going to at least be 500 if you lose that game.
That's unless you had the first seed, which is part of what skews LaFleur's playoff stats, because he did have the first seed for those 19 and 20 years.
Yeah. But I think, like, I don't think that disproves what I'm trying to say. I think that actually sort of proves what I'm trying to say in a way, because like even coaches that have playoff success have losing records.
But Joe, that's never the argument. People don't go, we need to fire Coach X because he's 5-19 in the playoffs. They go, we've been going to the playoffs now for 6 years and we haven't won a playoff game. That's why they get fired. You know, I mean, that becomes the argument. Not, well, we've gone for 7 years and we've only been to one NFC championship game. No, that's never the argument.
Right,
the argument is we're not winning playoff games at all. I mean, that's a problem.
That bleeds directly into my point, which is that even the best coaches in the NFL that are not named Bill Belichick still have losing records in the playoffs. Why is that? That means that they've been going to the playoffs year after year after year, and they're not winning playoff games.
Yeah,
and so they might win one, but they don't win.
But they are they're
winning one.
Your argument is good, but it has one small flaw. These guys are still winning at least the at least a playoff game more times than not, right? They're getting into the divisional rounds, or they're getting, they're still going to end up with losing records overall. I mean, you go to playoffs, let's say 8 years, and you get to 3 divisional rounds. Okay, you're going to have a 3-8 record, right? You've got a losing record, but that's fine. At least you made in the last 8 years. At least you got to divisional rounds. But when you're not even getting to divisional rounds, or you're just one and done every year, that's the argument. That when these guys continuously go to the playoffs and go one and done and don't progress, that's when coaches get fired. Because it's, the fans, the media, and everyone else goes, great, you're making it to the playoffs, but so what? We're picking 23rd again.
Yeah, but see, I'm not disagreeing with you there, Ken. I agree that that's why coaches get fired. The argument that I'm making is that coaches shouldn't get fired for having a losing playoff record per se, because playoff games are extremely hard to win. If they were easy to win, then you'd have a bunch more coaches with winning playoff records.
Look, I don't disagree with that, Joe, but at the same time, I don't disagree with anything you're saying, but at the same time, the reality is they will get fired for it, because what's out 10 years of coaching and you've been to 2 divisional rounds, they're like, you've gotten us to a point, we need to get a coach who can take us further. Then the rub becomes, you've taken us as far as you can take us, now we need the next guy.
Hold on. You know who is the absolute perfect example of this is Kyle Shanahan. How many Niners fans do you hear calling for his head because he can't win the Super Bowl, but he's won a shit ton of playoff games?
And guess what? If they get rid of Shanahan, they're going to be a shitty team again.
And you know what, Joe? You're not wrong, but you're not wrong. And when they say, "Oh, we need to fire Shanahan," I'm like, dude, he just got you to another Super Bowl. I mean, it's like saying you should have fired Levy after losing 4 straight Super Bowls. I'm like, no, that's stupid. But I can understand the mindset and the mentality. But
you mentioned firing Levy and you pissed Joe all off. Look at his face.
Know, right? Man. But I mean, when you're talking look at, if LaFleur can't get him at least to a divisional round in the next 3 years or so, that will start to become the issue. Right? What was the issue with Mike McCarthy? We're not winning enough playoff games. Now we slipped for a year.
It was a lot of his lackadaisical stuff and not going to team practices.
Yet they were making the playoffs every year.
No, that's not what pissed me off, actually. What pissed me off is my daughter is calling in the middle of the show because she has a project due for school that she decided to leave at home, and now she wants me to bring it to her. And I'm like, and she leaves her laptop at the house all the time, and I always have to bring it to her. So I told her, look, dude, if your project was that important, maybe you should have remembered it. You know what I mean? Now you're going to wait until my show's over.
Someone's going to have a mad daughter at the house.
I don't care. She can be mad. It's called be mad at yourself. It's called accountability. I'm raising accountable kids. That's a word in my house. Accountability.
It is Friday, and we're about halfway through, and good thing I looked at the clock because we need to go over some games for the week. So let's do that real quick. Let me get to the right week there. There we go. Okay. Well, we already know the Chargers mollywop the Vikings. Sorry, Vikings, you're done. The first game we're going to do, this will be a good game. Of course, we're going to save the Bears, the Packers, and the Raiders, of course, to the end as always.
Raiders are on a bye.
If they're not on a bye.
Raiders are on a bye.
Thank you. First game, Niners at Texans.
I'm taking the bye over the Raiders, though.
Niners at Texans. What do you think, Joe?
That's going to be a mollywhopping, dude. The Texans haven't shown me that they can compete with even decent teams, let alone a good team.
So I take it we're all going to go with the Niners on this game?
Yeah.
Okay. Bills, Panthers.
Oh, man. You want to say with recent history, excluding this year, that, oh, yeah, the Bills are going to absolutely run right through them. But when you take this year into account, the Panthers have actually been putting out some decent performances. And we can't forget the last two games from the Bills. They kind of imploded on themselves.
All right, let me stop you really quick. Under their current head coach, they're 8-0 coming off the bye. The line is the game.
Okay. You know,
the line is in Carolina. And it's Bills by 7 is the line.
yeah. Now knowing his 8-0 coming off the bye, you know what? That gives me faith that McDermott can turn it around with having the bye week there. Give me the Bills.
I'm taking the Bills either way. But the thing is, though, is this game is going to tell us a little bit about the Bills, like, because good teams beat the teams they're supposed to beat. You're supposed to beat the Panthers. If you're going to be a playoff contender this year, this is a game you have to win. So
I think the Bills mollywop them. This one will be interesting. The Browns coming off the massively huge victory against the Finns there. The Browns go to the Patriots. What do you got, Joe?
I'm picking the Browns on this one. I think, and it's my upset pick of the week, and here's why.
The line is 7, so that is a good upset.
Here's why. Like, the Patriots are a good team this year. They're playing good ball under Vrabel, right? But I don't think that they're at that point where they're going to be consistently winning every week yet. You know, like, I think that they're still – it's the first year under Vrabel. I just feel like they're not a finished product yet. And I think the Browns defense is going to give Drake May – Drake May's going to have a rough day, I think.
What do you think,
That's my take on it.
Yeah. I got to say, I'm going the complete opposite way with Joe, that I do think that the Browns defense is going to give them a shit ton of problems. Do not get me wrong here. But I like the way Drake May has been playing this year in the Patriots organization as a whole. God, I never thought I'd say that. But give me the Patriots for this one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take the Patriots, but it's not going to be by 7. It's going to be by 3. I think it's a lot closer game than Vegas is giving credit for. The Fighting Fish go to the Falcons. What do you got, Ken?
The Falcons absolutely dog walk them.
Is anyone taking the Dolphins in this game? Okay, moving on. This one will be fun.
The Falcons are going to strip the carcass of the Miami Dolphins clean, dude. Like,
so this will be a fun game. Let me get into Woody mode real quick. The Giants at the Sheagles.
Give me New York to complete the sweep.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
Not me. I don't think there's any way the Giants are sweeping them. And this one's in Philly, right?
Yeah, if it's in Philly, I'm with Joe. I'm taking Philly.
Yeah,
I'm taking 7.5, by the way. His helmet should be bigger than Romeo Dobbs. But that's
because apparently Tua's brain is too mush to remember to protect it.
That's another that's a whole different show we could do right there. All right. Oh, God, this sucks. The 0-7 Jets at the Bungles.
Give me the Bengals all day, every day.
Yeah. Tyrod Taylor, man. I've got to go with the Bengals.
Though I do think with Tyrod starting, it will be closer. But I think Joe Flacco, with that weaponry out there in Cincinnati, is going to get the job done.
I like this. I want to say Jets because they can't go 0-16, but yeah. The Buccaneers, who just came off the worst game they played all season against the Saints.
Hey, why, thank you there, Yinzer.
Bucks at Saints. What do you got, Joe?
Man, see, if ever there was a team that's ripe for an upset, ripe for the pickings, like you're coming off that loss to Detroit, and the Saints have been playing everybody tough, but I just can't pick the Saints against the Bucks, man.
Nope, I don't think the Bucks lose 2 games in a row.
I don't either, but I watch. This is going to be the upset of the week, and we're all going to be wrong, dude. Like,
Well, I mean, the line's 4.5, and the game is in NOLA, so even Vegas says the Bucks. So
yeah, but I don't know. I got a feeling about this one. I'm going with the Bucks because I feel like the Bucks are a really good team. But my mind right now is telling me like this is upset city right here, dude. Like,
are you taking a second upset for the week?
no, I'm not. I'm taking the
Okay.
Bucks, but my mind is telling me like the Saints might win this game.
The 3-1 Cowgirls at the Broncos.
Broncos.
The girls at the hose. Who we got?
I'm going with the Cowboys, dude. Like, this is Javonte Williams' revenge game, and Dak's been playing really good ball. Defensively, they're not much to look at, but offensively for the Broncos, Bo Nix has kind of been struggling this year. So I think that they'll score points, but I don't know if he's going to be able to put up as many points as the Cowboys. So,
You know what, Joe? I think I'm going to go exactly right along with your take with it because I was debating back and forth because this game's pretty much just going to come down to the Broncos defense versus the Cowboys offense because, like you said, Bo Nix has been struggling and the Cowboys defense sucks. But with the way Dak's playing, I think he can edge it out.
So the Broncos
Speaking
coming
of
off
edging,
that,
we have a Woody.
the Broncos coming off that high of that game they just had with the Giants. And this game's in Denver, by the way. They're going to be riding a high coming in, but look I think the Broncos are overachieved last year. I mean, they're 5-2 right now. They're kind of somewhat overachieving. They kind of are. I still don't think they're that good of a team. If this is a game they should win.
Wow.
But I think it's a game Dallas ends up winning. The Broncos kind of get by on a lot of luck and duct tape. They got by on luck and duct tape last week with the Giants, or the Giants just completely shitting the bed on that game. Oh, wait, the Giants. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm going to go with the boys. And that defense has got to get better for them. What do you got, Woody?
Oh, man, dude. Higher elevations. I think the only advantage that Cowboys has is their field goal kicker. I'm taking Broncos by 10.
damn.
Oh, shit.
I mean, look, the whole team will probably have a contact high just breathing the air in Denver. But, and those who've been to Denver know what I'm talking about.
And those that know science, no contact high is impossible.
Yeah, I just had a few before somebody walking through the showroom. I'm like, yeah, service is back there, but thanks for the high.
The next one, this is I don't know if this will be interesting. The line is 14.5. Anyone want to guess what game it is? The line's 14.5. The biggest line of the week, mind you.
The bye over the Raiders.
Yeah, Geno's going to throw 5 interceptions this time.
Titans at the Colts. Anyone going to take the Titans on this game?
Absolutely not.
Wow.
No? Okay. Monday Night Football.
I'm thinking the Colts end up covering that.
That'll be the bigger question. Will they cover? I think they will. Monday Night Football, before we get to our teams for people on the panel. Commanders at the Chiefs. The line is 12.5 for Kansas City.
Yep. Kansas City doesn't lose at home. I'm taking Kansas City to cover that spread.
Ooh.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm taking Kansas City too.
Yeah, give me Chief Frog Throat, but I don't think they cover the spread.
Kermit the Frog and the referees will win yet another game. And it's look at, and Woody and I talked about this Sunday. Bears Commanders last year. Loser of that game goes on an epic 10-game losing streak. Winner goes on to the NFC Championship. 1 year later, Winner goes on a winning streak, or that we've continued a winning streak because obviously it's still ongoing. But the loser has gone on a losing streak that's still ongoing. Just saying, it's funny the way that the universe works sometimes.
Well, Ken, the Bears Commanders, that's a big rivalry. So
oh yeah, that's right. I forgot.
Yeah.
I forgot. We have all this beef with the Commanders, and they have some beef with us about. I don't know what we're beefing about, but we have beef. Damn it! And it's not Italian beef either.
Wow, that's you, Ken. I'm Sicilian beef.
There you go.
See, obviously, this is where your non-Chicago-ness comes out. I beef Portillo's.
I be gravy and not sauce.
There you go.
No, you are horribly wrong. It is always sauce.
Ken, I hope a fucking tree falls down in your yard again.
All right, let's go to the first of the two games that really matters. Sunday night football, which means we're gonna have a lot of Collinsworth slobbering all over a certain quarterback or two, because I think he loves both Love and Rodgers. The Padawan and the Master meet. Two coaches who we've been talking about with the lack of playoff wins meet. The revenge game. Ooh. Ken, we'll let you go first. Packers at the Steelers. The line, just so you know, being up front, is the Packers by 3.
Oof. That means we're picking Packers to win by 7.
Yeah, there we go. See, Woody, I knew I liked you for a reason.
Well, everybody doesn't. Everybody does like me. I don't give a fuck if you don't.
But yeah, it's nice that we got the reunion game with Rodgers and all of that. It'll be great for the storylines and for a lot of the fandom, whether you love or hate them, because it gives them a chance to boo if they hate them. But we are going to sit here and ruin the Rodgers reunion for him and make sure he is not the 5th quarterback to beat all 32 teams.
Joe, what do you think? Packers at Pittsburgh.
Yeah. I'm going Packers. You know, I just don't think that the Steelers' offensive line is going to be able to hold up. I think Rodgers is going to be in trouble. I hope it's a close game, though.
Woody?
I can't pick it. I'm commentating the game. It's not because Green Bay. I'm just thinking, like Ken just said, that he hasn't beaten all 32 teams. God damn, dude. It's a Pennsylvania team too, so I'm fucked either way. I don't know. I'll just go. Sorry, Ken. I'll just go with the home team because you called it sauce, not gravy. I think the Steelers are going to win by a field goal. I think that's what I'm picking. Yeah, because it's gravy, not sauce, dude.
Okay, the more important one. Do you fry the meatballs first or put them directly in the sauce?
You don't fry them? The fuck is wrong with you?
Okay, there we go.
Jesus,
that's how you're supposed to make meatballs.
Dude, don't give an old guy a heart attack, dude. You don't ever fry fucking meatballs. I couldn't tell
you how many fucking Italians I've seen do that shit, and I'm like, who the fuck taught you?
Holy Jesus! Yeah, that's something wrong there. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Ken, what do you think, Ken? It's your turn now. How about it? She's just staring at me, Ken.
You couldn't hear it going. Yeah, no. I'm sorry. That didn't come through. Stupid mixing board. All right, so look, and I've got Pittsburgh in this game. Their defense. Pittsburgh's a weird team identity-wise. Some days it's their defense doing it. Some days the offense. But look I'm sorry. Packer fans have like this weird memory thing. Like they forget that when you have games like this, Rodgers, and they love to tell you about it when he was a Packer. Oh, well, it's a big game like that. Rodgers always rises to the top to get the victory. Oh, but now he's not a Packer. Oh, well, then he's automatically going to suck. Sorry, it doesn't work that way, Green Bay. Look, he's going to be the 5th quarterback in history, which I hate that he's going to be, but he's going to be the 5th quarterback in history of the NFL to beat all 32 teams. This doesn't change the GOAT argument. He's still not the GOAT. Sorry, Packer fans.
It's funny that Brady said he was.
Oh, wait up. Aaron Rodgers never beat the Bears. What the fuck? What's wrong with him?
So,
And I think the Bears still have the dick print of Rodgers on their
well,
forehead.
also, there's a little FTP thing that goes on there, a little nod to JB there, FTP. But no, I think it comes down more to Pittsburgh's defense,
Yep.
especially look at Green Bay still has offensive issues, right? And their running game isn't exactly healthy. Their passing game isn't exactly healthy, even though, as we noted yesterday, Love's numbers are pretty good, but his receiving core is overall pretty dismal. So you're going to see a lot of Musgrave. You'll see some Dobbs getting some opportunistic catches with the helmet. You can see from Mars. Maybe they get Golden involved a little bit, but you're going to see a lot of pressure on Love too. So I'm not going to rule out a pick or two for maybe at least a pick. Hey, Luka, here you go. We finally saw Luka after his team got mollywopped yesterday. But I'm gonna go with Pittsburgh on this one. I think Rodgers will have a play. He'll have a moment in this game that'll define the game, and he'll end up with the W.
I was gonna say, isn't Aaron Rodgers like the Ric Flair of beating the Bears, like
All right.
the 16-time world champion?
Hey, Joe.
I'll be
the next one challenging
secondary. I love Dorn. Steelers secondary is hot garbage. Yeah, so is Green Bay's.
No, Green Bay's corners are.
Joe, with you, you better fucking train up for me for saying that, motherfucker.
All righty. The final game we're going to talk about of the week. I'll go to Woody first. Of course, we'll be talking about this Sunday morning on the pregame. Bears at the Ravens.
If Lamar plays, we're going to lose. If he doesn't play, we're going to win. Plain and simple.
Okay. Joe?
I don't expect Lamar to come back and just be like the MVP in his first game back. I think, he'll play well, but I'm going with the Bears.
Well, Joe, now, Joe, you don't have to train for me. I'll give you a hug.
Ken?
Well, just because of the NFC North Divisional, hey, give me fuck the Bears to lose this one to the absolutely terrible team of the Ravens.
And there's the worst take of the week on the screen right now by John Dorn.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, wait a minute.
Oh, my God, that would be funny, though, wouldn't it?
And have a best quarterback. Yet the last 2 weeks they have stopped the run. And I will give you some credit. Caleb has not been the best. Last week was his worst game of the year.
Is the line still 6.5?
Yeah.
Hey, wouldn't that be hilarious though? Like the Ravens have been on this massive slide, and all of a sudden they come and drop a 40 burger on the Bears. Like,
yeah. No,
I mean, even as a Bears fan, you'd have to laugh at that, right? You'd have to be like, "Whoa, fuck!" Like,
fucking Joe, I swear to God,
I'm gonna take the Bears in this game. I'll do my score on Sunday as always. Dorn always has the best take. I'll say this: the Bears' defense has been playing better and better and better, averaging over 3 turnovers a game. And last week, we actually even added 4 sacks to the mix. Offensively, the running game has been really good. DeAndre Swift, in his entire career, had 4 100-yard games. In the last 2, he's had 2. So now he has 600-yard games. So the offense, the running game in the Bears has been great. If the passing game improves and the way this defense has continually improved since the bye, conveniently when we get a few guys back off injury, I don't think there's a coincidence there. I have the Bears winning this game. I mean, and I agree with Joe. It's not like Lamar's going to come back and be all-world beater right out the gate with this hamstring injury. He's not 100%. Mr. Fumbleitis now all of a sudden. When was the last time you heard anything with Derrick Henry positive this season? Derrick Henry's been a non-factor. So unless Derrick Henry all of a sudden has his game of the year, I don't have Baltimore. There you go.
Bro, if you win that bet, you could retire.
Yeah. Mitch, man, why do you have to wish injury on players like that, dude? Like, really? That's just a terrible take. All right, so that's the games for the week. Yeah, I mean, the Lions. You know, who are the Lions? No, the Lions are on bye this week.
Yeah, they probably won't lose this week.
They might.
But I want a quick take on the way they played Monday night. I'm like, Jesus Christ, these Lions are back to their old form. So they're looking good. So I can see them being in first place soon.
I think actually, looking back, I think Kansas City trapped them. I don't think they figured, oh, well, KC's lost 2 games. They're not that good. And then we got the bye and this, that, and the other coming up. And I think they got trapped by Kansas City. I think Kansas City caught them off guard. They thought it was going to be that Kansas City wasn't that good. And Kansas City said, no, we're still a good team. We're not as good as we were, but you need to respect us. And I think Detroit looked past them.
I'm not going against Kansas City if they play at home either. No fucking way. They're unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean they're so good they don't even commit any penalties.
Right.
Dude,
well,
let's look at what Mitch has said. Mitch, you're talking about 4 seasons ago. 4 seasons ago was that, Mitch. So how is that the norm for a guy who last year played every game, and Philly played every game, and this year has played every game? The norm is that he's not hurt, Mitch.
I wouldn't wish.
When it comes to DeAndre Swift with the Lions fans, he got hurt 1 season with them. Oh, well, his norm is he's always hurt. What the fuck, Mitch? No, it's not. Sorry for that. I mean, I hate. And look at Swift's not the only player we label that with. There's some other players in the league, right? That get
Fred, I hope you win that bet
because they get hurt 1 year. Oh, they're injury prone. Like, really?
Oh, so Aiden Hutchinson's injury prone too, right?
Yeah, I guess so. It must be time for him to get hurt again because he hasn't gotten hurt this season yet. He's injury prone. Yeah, no, I'm not going there.
Limousine riding, jet flying.
Green Bay never gets a flag in Green Bay. Go fucking figure.
Wheeling, dealing. Woo!
Wow.
How many roughing the passer penalties will there be in the Green Bay game?
The most important question is: there going to be a discount double check at this game?
No.
Oh man, that would be dope.
At least
if Rodgers runs one in, if Rodgers runs one in and he throws the belt on the Packers, dude. Oh my god, that would be. I gotta see that, dude. Even if they lose the game, I just gotta see the belt on the Packers.
It's just like the Emmitt Smith and Terrell Owens in Dallas on the Cowboy symbol and at the 50-yard line with Terrell Owens, what he did. That was fucking that was wrong, but it was classic.
Mitch, I'm sorry. Your norm argument, it's now been almost 2.5 seasons and he hasn't missed a game. Your norm argument is shit. It's a shit argument. Get with the times, my friend. Get with the times.
Oh, my God. But,
if he does a discount double check on the Packers, it would be epic.
Yeah, dude. That would be...
And you know what would be even more epic? He does a discount double check, and then he does a Lambeau leap at Heinz Field.
Oh.
He couldn't Lambeau leap over a curb right now.
Yeah.
He couldn't Lambeau leap over Danica Patrick. He's not going to do it.
How about he doesn't just do the belt, but how about he does the belt on the game winner? Like he goes in on a game winner and does the belt.
And then afterwards he says, I own you, Green Bay. I still own you.
And then maybe...
No. That's going to be the line in Chicago. It don't matter what team I'm on.
Stop trying to deflect Chicago. We're talking about the game that you have against him this week. Mitch is still on this injury thing. Well, then by that, I guess we won't be seeing Aiden Hutchinson for the rest of the year because he's doing injury. He'll probably get hurt in practice over the bye week.
So if Rodgers,
you know, stupid argument that is.
Maybe if Roger wins, his offensive tackle will fucking tackle him again. Jesus Christ.
Ken is only deflecting because this is hurting his soul. The image of Aaron Rodgers like stunting on the Packers with the belt on the game winner. It's like it's hurting his soul. He's like, oh.
The only reason I deflected that one is because he used the Aaron Rodgers Chicago Bear line and tried to flip it to Green Bay.
And you know that the image of Rodgers, it's bothering you.
When during this segment have I alluded to anything besides that fact?
No,
I said, why do
here-
you guys hate me and fuck
All
you
right, so
too?
guys, here's the scenario. He gets the game-winning touchdown, does the discount double check, does a Lambeau leap at Heinz Field, and afterwards pulls out the certificate of ownership and see Green Bay. I own you too.
Wow.
Damn, that'd be like the best. That'd be the best since like Joe Horn pulled the cell phone out of his shoe, like or out of his sock. Remember with the touchdown, like when T.O. pulled out the Sharpie and signed the ball, and then the next week Joe Horn pulled out the cell phone and made a phone call. Like
I wish the game was at Green Bay so he can, when he scores a touchdown, he can wipe his ass on the goalpost. That was fucking classic too.
Fred
Now the perfect
Collinsworth.
game winner to me sounds like Love running into that Pittsburgh end zone, looking Rodgers in the eye and giving him the discount double check.
No, he's gonna say thank you. I sat behind you for so many years. Thank you.
Fred, we might see something. We might see Collinsworth head explode because he loves it ooze all over Love and Rodgers. So we're not. His head might explode in this game. Collinsworth might just have a heart. His heart might explode.
Dude, if Love did that, if Love discount double checked towards Rodgers, oh man, the friendship is over at that point.
And let's not forget, Love does have a little bit of troll in him too. Because don't forget what he did to Dak in that playoff game.
Yeah,
so it wouldn't shock me if he
You know
did
what? So
something.
here's the problem, though, Ken. Love is going to screw that up, and he'll do it early, like in the first quarter. He'll do something stupid like that. And what that'll do is I'll make Aaron go, "Oh, really?"
Yeah, I was going to say Love knows better than to do that some bitch
No,
early.
he doesn't.
Okay,
No, he doesn't.
No, yes, he most certainly does because he's seen people mock the championship belt celebration before and get absolutely piss pounded after.
But he
That's
thinks
why it's
he's
going to
the
be the
next
last one of the game.
He thinks he's the next incarnation. Trust me, he's going to do something stupid. He'll do that. If he does that, he'll be stupid about it.
Hey, you know what? I'm not saying that Jordan Love is or isn't dumb enough to do that, but wouldn't that be epic if that was the storyline of the game? Like Jordan Love runs one in, he does the discount double check in the second quarter, and then the whole second half, Aaron Rodgers just pounds you guys, dude. Oh, that would be an epic storyline for a game, dude.
I don't want to be on the.
Oh my God, Luca!
Ken, I got something to say to you. Des Bryant, it was a catch.
It wasn't a catch. Read the rule book that year.
Yeah, and then they're gonna open up the door to the what is it called, the box where Collinsworth is. He's like, "Did you guys see the spooky ghost? Ectoplasm. It's a spooky ghost." Oh, dude,
it was a catch.
He's sitting there on his computer, Brazilian fart porn.
No. He's sitting there on his computer, and it's nothing but a picture of Mahomes.
Mahomes.
Wow, you said porn. I like the Latina MILF ones that I have in my house.
No,
I like that a lot.
You didn't see that South Park where Randy's like he doesn't have access to porn, so he like gets on the government computer and he's like Brazilian fart porn, and he can't watch just one video. He has to like mix it up. So he's like Japanese girls throwing up in each other's mouths, like all kind of crazy shit.
Ava Adams style.
Oh, and then all of a sudden it's like,
hold on a second. Going back to football, because we're almost out of time. Paul, the Steelers are not being able to stop the run. The positive for the Steelers in this game, Jacobs is still not 100%, and that's a key for Green Bay. If they can't get Jacobs going, they're cooked.
Jacobs still did decent in the limited capacity he had last week, putting up 2 touchdowns. You can't shake a stick at that.
Well,
yeah. But TJ, bro, TJ, like you got to worry about TJ.
He's got to have a good game. He's got to be better than decent against the Steelers front.
You got to worry about TJ Watt, bro.
As long as he's lined up against Zach Tom, I'm not worried. If he flips side to Rasheed Walker, that's when I start to get a little worried.
If I'm the Steelers, I'm only lining him up against Rasheed Walker.
Yeah.
Hayward's going to have a field day. That's what I'm talking about.
So, guys, a lot of great football. Everyone enjoy their football week. And don't forget tonight, Packer Backer News. Well, they'll be talking about how they're going to try to beat Aaron Rodgers and how he's now terrible and Jordan Love is the greatest of all time. That about covers the narrative for Friday
Those words have never come out of my mouth on any show.
Well, that's a weird sentence. I'm not even going to say it, but we just said 10. I don't want to hear it again.
Yeah, so then we got that. Don't forget, we got the Viking shows where they're going to lament about their big blowout losses this week on Saturday. And then Sunday morning at 11 a.m., you get Woody and myself and maybe a couple of mics. We'll be doing the pregame at 11. There'll
Getting
be a
ready
red
to
zone
talk
rant
about the
prior to
Bears
that.
loss.
Shut up, Dick.
There'll be a red zone rant prior to that. Everyone enjoyed football game this weekend. For this show, Ken and Ken in the morning, we will see you back here Monday morning. Thank you everyone on Rumble, Facebook, YouTube, X, everywhere you watch this podcast. We appreciate you. Enjoy football weekend. We'll see you right back here Monday morning. Bear down.
It was a